Well, hey there. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've been very busy and I was sick for about a month. And with this whole thing with the National Association of Realtors lawsuit, I wanted to make sure that I got as much information as possible because I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it until they came to an agreement. And uh, the weird thing about it is, uh, I just thought it was crazy. The headlines coming out were salacious to say the least. That realtors were going to get a 25 to 50% pay cut. Who would be thrilled about that? That now home prices would come down because the price of a realtor's commission is baked into the price. That is not true. Anybody who is a legitimate realtor will tell you they never do that. We want your home to be priced at the correct price, the value, so that you get buyers, right? We want to do our job. So essentially, what this lawsuit is saying is that we cannot advertise the commission split for buyers, brokers in the MLS. There were some sellers that brought a lawsuit against, I think it was Keller Williams, another large company, and the National Association of Realtors, and essentially don't want to pay a buyer's broker. So it makes sense on the surface. If you sit there and say, well, why would I pay somebody to come in and try to talk my price down? But it's part of doing business. It's marketing. It's a marketing cost. And so that's why I still can't understand how NAR lost this lawsuit. But there could have been a better compromise, in my opinion. The only way you could be on the MLS too was if you put the commission in the listing. So when a realtor goes on the MLS and they log in, they're logging in as an agent. So there's things that we see. There's broker synopsis and there's the customer synopsis, which is, each listing will look different depending on whether you're a broker or a customer. So in there, they have realtor remarks that only the realtors can see, and they have the commissions listed. And so, I don't know why you had to have that in there in order to be on the MLS. I mean, that could have been the lawsuit right there, and it is part of it. As of mid-July, we cannot put our commission, if we're paying any commission, in the MLS listing. So now buyer brokers have to call each listing agent and ask them if they're paying a commission and how much. Now here's the other part of it. Every buyer is going to have to sign a buyer's broker agreement, which we will determine what commission you're going to pay us, how long it's going to last, what we're going to be looking for you. And pretty much like a listing agreement, only for a buyer. So yes, buyers will be on the hook for paying the buyer broker commission. Now, before everybody freaks out, there is another part of this. Sellers most likely will not just stop paying for buyers brokers, okay? So there are going to be, I would say, probably 90 to 95% of the homes are going to have commissions for the buyer's brokers. Now, here's the other side of that. If I signed an agreement with you and it said you're going to pay me 2.5% of whatever the contract price is, and then we go and we find a home and I call them and they're paying 2%, you'll be on the hook for the other 0.5%. If they're paying 3%, the buyer gets the 0.5%. So you see how that works? So I will get 2.5% no matter what, whether it's under or over. I will not get the extra if it's higher than 2.5%. So that's the part of that. I have no idea what we're going to do about VA loans. I have no idea what we're going to do about first-time home buyers. Really, no idea. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll have to ask for, probably when you negotiate, you'll ask for closing costs to be paid, something like that, which commissions are part of or can be part of your closing costs. You can word it so that it is. So that's essentially that. Sellers, I would always tell my sellers to pay a broker's commission. And why? Well, you're paying the broker, let's say 5-6%. That's kind of normal, right? Well, we could go with 6%. Let's go with the 6% because that's what everybody says it is. I have not charged 6% because mainly I work with people who have worked with me before, or I'm selling them a home too. So I don't want to, I'm not greedy. So anyway, so you're working with your broker. You're paying the broker 6%. Then what happens to that 6%? Well, there are certain things that the brokers do to market your home that they do not ask you for the money. Okay, they don't ask you for the professional photographer money. They don't ask you for staging, not typically, unless you have some big old mansion. They don't ask you for staging. They don't ask you to reimburse them for open house materials. They don't ask you to reimburse them for advertising. So me personally, I like to do a Facebook post. Then if I get some a lot of good responses, I will do an ad, and then that gets good responses. I do a retargeting ad. So this can run into, hundreds of dollars a month, but you can get, on the plus side, you're getting action on the listing. It's getting out there. People are commenting on it. Maybe their friend sees that they commented on it, and they say, "Oh, that's the house for me." Whatever, right? So this is what realtors do when they list your home. Okay, so all that money, we don't get all that money. Plus, you need that. So selling to a buyer's broker, yes, they're going to come in, they're going to try and get the price down for their client and all that good stuff, but you're going to sell your home. It's all, part of market, business expense or whatever, your expense. I know that you check with your CPA. I'm not a CPA, but check with your CPA and see how much of that is tax deductible. So essentially, that's what's going on now. And I'm still learning, so I'm still trying to figure out how it's going to work for VA buyers and first-time home buyers. But it starts mid-July. Some realtors are having you sign a buyer's agreement now, which I will probably start doing. But I think I have to look to my broker to see what commission we're going to charge, because we're not going to all charge our own individual commissions. So that's essentially it, guys. I can talk all day about this, but I'm running out of time there. So thank you for listening if you went this far. And I wish you luck with your home buying and your home selling. All right. Ciao, Bella. Is it still going?